Hello and welcome to what is something I haven't done in a long time, and that is a build-up to a final. It's been at least a year since we've done this sort of format. Obviously, a lot more prevalent on the Chelsea Fan TV YouTube channel. With, of course, these graphics. I've done this from the first couple of years. First 3 years, and then since joining the byline, we've seen a lot less of it. But it's good to be back on doing it like this. I thought I would just say that we will be live 1:30 p.m. on the byline YouTube channel. It is going to be myself, Alex Goldberg, and former world champion snooker player and Triple Crown winner Neil Robertson will be joining us on the watch along as well as a special guest. He is an avid Chelsea fan, a big Chelsea fan. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll know that he is obviously a huge Chelsea fan. But yeah, if you know Neil Robertson, if you're into snooker, you'll know who Neil Robertson is. But at the end of the day, snooker player or not, he's a Chelsea fan. He knows his stuff and has been a guest on the Byline podcast many a time before. So he knows his stuff. So there we go. With regards to today, I'm a little nervous. I haven't even done my hair so far today. That's how pre-show this is. I will be going live 1:30 p.m. UK time on that channel for the first half an hour, and then I believe Alex will be joining me from 2 p.m. for an hour build-up after that. It's a lot of build-up for the game, so please do join us. Or just myself, but join me and Alex and Neil for the build-up, and obviously, more importantly, for the game itself. Now, shall we delve into a little bit of what is going on here? Only 30 minutes or so we're going to do here, and just kind of delve into some of the bits and bobs that are another Carabao Cup final, another Wembley Cup final, another potential bit of silverware. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm unsure. We're going to go through player statistics. We're going to go through predicted lineups, and we're also going to obviously delve into some of the statistics with regards to our head-to-head. So as we can see, 186 games. I haven't done the timer. Where are we? So we've got 4 minutes. Let me sort this out. I had this whole thing set up so that it would be nice and good looking and everything, and I've absolutely ballsed it. So hang on, move that forward. What would it be? Here comes the old mathematician. So it'd be 52. And then like there. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Technical difficulties. No, it's all good. It's all good. So as you can see, 2 hours and 52.5 minutes to go until kickoff. And as I was saying, 186 games played, 61 victories, 79 losses for Chelsea, 246 goals scored, and 272 goals conceded. It's tight, but it's not at the same time. Like it's still quite a few years away from us ever being able to level it up. Do you know what I mean? So this one in general, though, as you can see, 5 League Cup titles for Chelsea, 9 for Liverpool. So I was saying, I did a quick preview on TikTok where I was just kind of giving my opinion on everything at the moment with regards to the game, what it means, what players are available, injury concerns for either side, what team needs it more, which team is under more pressure. And I think the fact of the matter is Chelsea are absolutely, completely and utterly under the most amount of pressure in this situation. We've got the task, or the players have the task of showing that they have progressed, that they have gotten better, that they you know, that the team cohesion has gotten better, that the teamwork is, it's getting there. And the fact that, again, the fact that we're in the fact that we're in a final in this season, what is arguably one of the worst performances in terms of seasons we've had, do you know what I mean? It's remarkable that we are obviously in this position in the first place. I wouldn't have thought it. And again, we might even get ourselves into an FA Cup final. Obviously, we'll focus on this cup final first. But we've got Leeds on Wednesday in the FA Cup. Then it's quarter-final, then it's semi-final, and then it's final. So we're only 4 games away from another final as well. In arguably, well, I'd say arguably, but in a much bigger competition. In regards to the level of competition, I don't think at the end of the day, the prestige of the Carabao Cup matters. I do think it is. It's less about the name in this scenario. Chelsea and Liverpool, we've got a big history in the League Cup, obviously. Our first ever trophy, our first ever silverware under Roman Abramovich was the Carling Cup. And so there is that. I know it's the Carabao Cup now, but we've obviously had some history with it. We won it 5 times. They won it 9 times. There is that level of competition between the two of us. We've played each other more recently than not in you know, at Wembley. Hasn't ended well for us more recently than, you know. It could be against any team. It could be against any team, and the fact that it's against Liverpool, I'd rather play City, to be honest with you. I'd honestly rather play City. I just don't. I don't feel comfortable playing Liverpool at Wembley anymore. I don't feel comfortable playing at Wembley full stop. Do you know what I mean? It's become what was once a playground for the likes of Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry, and so on and so forth, to have a fun time and score goals at will, has now become a place where, more likely than not, we're going to lose. Whereas in this game, I do think we stand a very good chance. They've obviously got a lot of recent injuries that have taken the big names, the likes of Nunes, Salah, Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jota, Szoboszlai. These are all key players for them, but I still think it is going to be a lot more pressure on us. There's going to be a lot more pressure on us because we haven't won at Wembley in a while. We haven't won at Wembley in a long time. In fact, the last time we won at Wembley, I was at the game. Believe it or not, I used to go to games, and I think that's why we haven't won, is because I'm not there. If I was there today with Luke, I think we would be absolutely lifting the trophy. But in terms of pressure, I do think a lot of the pressure stems on the fact that we've got a lot to prove. These players have a lot to prove. There's a lot of... Can these players actually be the ones to bring Chelsea back to the glory days again? Not that we've been away from the glory days for too long, but it's becoming too little, too quick. Do you know what I mean? It's too stressful for us as Chelsea fans, who have been very spoiled over the last 25 years in terms of silverware, to then go from all of that to absolutely nothing. These players have that pressure of... having to live up to that standard. And I know Pochettino came out recently and said to the Chelsea fans, don't expect to see a Chelsea of 20, 25 years ago. I came with a rebuttal of, I just want to see Chelsea of 2 years ago, of 3 years ago. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see, I'm not expecting the golden era. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see a team put in a good effort, a good display, a good set of character in the in a final, but also on a regular basis. It's consistency that we lack the most, and so where consistency isn't necessarily an overriding factor or something that is key. It's not something that's clinical in winning a final. A final, you can win anyone can win a final on the day. Do you know what I mean? So. Again, I go back. I do think there's a lot more pressure on Chelsea because Liverpool have those injuries, because it's Klopp, because Pochettino's never won an English title, and Saturday the 25th. It's Sunday the 25th. My mistake. I knew I'd make one mistake on here. I just felt because I'm off from work tomorrow, so I thought it was I thought it was Saturday. But either way, the pressure's on Chelsea. They make no mistake about it. I really do think that there's a lot more to lose for Chelsea. If Liverpool lose, they can blame it on the injuries. If they lose, it's oh, what a shame. It becomes more about Liverpool, even if we win, because Klopp won't have got that one potential bit of silverware that he's so desperate to get before he vacates his role as Liverpool manager. Now, with all that said, let's get into the top players. Just a little gander at some of the statistics. I don't know where I can put myself, because otherwise I am just in the way. I'm just going to go in the corner here. But yeah, I think the media darlings Liverpool. It's going to be all Liverpool from start to finish. Team news. We'll get to that in just a second. First of all, it's no surprise, obviously, that Palmer is our most. Our highest performing player in the Carabao Cup. Madueke, you would think, would be up there, but of course he's just in second place in terms of goals scored. 2 goals for Enzo, Madueke and Palmer. Enzo, again, in the top rated ones alongside Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher as well in the top assists with the same as Palmer there. And Sterling with 1. For Liverpool, they've got Núñez, Gakpo, Jones. Gakpo and Jones are also in the top goal scorers, with Szoboszlai, who is going to be out injured, it seems. Núñez and Jones are also out. So key players in the Carabao Cup for Liverpool in Núñez, Jones. I don't know about Gakpo in terms of his injury status, but I don't remember him being a name that was one that they need to concern themselves about being missing. And Jones, Szoboszlai is out. Alexander-Arnold's out. Top assist maker there. I'm fairly sure Gakpo's fit, but Núñez is up in the air. Salah's up in the air, but he's not really on this list, is he? Salah is also confirmed out. Well, with that said, should we go into the lineups? In terms of Chelsea, let me get this up. There we go. In terms of Chelsea, from what I have been told or from what we've all seen on social media, it's more or less the same than it was against Manchester City, being this, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, I mean, let me know in the chat. I mean, what do you think of that lineup? Obviously, we did very, very well against a Man City side that we'd obviously drawn against 4-4 earlier on in the season, to then go and draw 1-1 at the Etihad. It came as a bit of a surprise, but it also showcased that Levi Colwill should and always is and always should be a centre-back for Chelsea. I still don't see Nkunku starting. I just don't see it happening. Maybe. I don't know. If he doesn't start him in a final, then I don't know what the hell's going on, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I don't think Gallagher gets dropped either, to be honest with you. But, yeah. Starting lineup in terms of Petrovic in goal, hopefully. He said that he picked his goalkeeper. 99% of the team was picked as well. And so that would lead a lot of people to believe that we have obviously sorted that out, being the one against Manchester City. Gusto, key player for us these days. Very, very important. Good with his ability to create an aerial threat. Not be an aerial threat, but create those aerial threats with those in-swingers and so on. Chilwell will be the one that a lot of people are obviously curious as to why he deserves a place in terms of his recent performances. Has obviously been rather sluggish, rather poor, rather unlike himself in recent months, rather than Well, I say recent months, he's been injured for Christ's sake. But either way, I would argue that the biggest pressure of any player on the pitch it revolves solely on Ben Chilwell. He is Chelsea's acting captain. He's obviously a vice captain, but he's our acting captain. He has a huge role. He hasn't necessarily been pulling his weight. He had issues. We're relieving the mascot in the middle of the pitch. Like, leadership skills aren't necessarily exuding off of Ben Chilwell as many of us, including myself, would have thought that it would. I honestly, and I know a lot of people, I didn't see it. I don't really see Chilwell as a leadership. I fully, knowing the personality that we see of him and how confident he is, how the sort of bloke he appears to be, you would think he would be quite a bolshy, sort of in-your-face kind of captain, especially when you're playing for a team. You are an English defender. You are representing a team where an English defender was the GOAT captain for the club. Surely you want to replicate some of that sort of personality, that big personality, that big game personality of a John Terry or even a Gary Cahill, for instance. The two of our best captains, obviously Cesar Azpilicueta as well, but many would argue he's probably more like that. Doesn't get involved as much. But yeah. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the middle with Gallagher just in front. Obviously, that three might change about before the start of the game. But again, I don't see Gallagher getting dropped. He's been too good for us in the competition. Enzo Fernandez as well obviously won't be getting dropped. Caicedo, again, I don't see it happening. Palmer has to start. If anyone's the first name on the pitch, it's either Petrovic or it's Cole Palmer, but more than likely it's Cole Palmer. Sterling to start. I don't think he has a good record against Liverpool, if I'm mistaken. I don't think he does well against Liverpool. And albeit he scored against City, his former club, just a few days ago. If he can score against Liverpool again now here today, that would be 2 goals in 2 games against his 2 former clubs, which obviously doesn't mean a lot. But there's a bit of incentive there for him to create that narrative of he's a big game player. He's scored in 2 games against his 2 former clubs and call a ruckus at the very least. Jackson up top. I would much prefer to see him on the left, Sterling down the middle, and then Sterling off the pitch for Christopher Nkunku. But again, I don't really like Christopher Nkunku as our front man, as our number 9. Doesn't seem to be able to do whatever it is that he does. Doesn't really get that big stretch of the pitch to be able to do the creativity that he does so well, that he's known for so well. Exactly, Dan. He's so isolated up top on his own. I just don't see it. It's the same as Cole Palmer. Why would you put Cole Palmer up top? It doesn't make any sense. If he doesn't play a striker, he has to start Jackson. I think. We have to start a striker. I don't want Palmer. I don't want Nkunku up top. They are virtually out of the game from the get-go when they play up top. So for that reason and that reason alone, we have to start Jackson if that's the case. And then it's not either. It's Sterling doesn't start, and Nkunku can of course do what he does. I'd rather drop Sterling, but then Gallagher's the position that you want Nkunku to play in. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. From what we've seen, what we've been told, that is exactly the lineup that we are going to be going with. And then we move on to the Liverpool lineup that has been sort of, what do you call it? Proposed, I guess. I don't know if this is a lie or a bit of a laugh and a joke, but honestly, if we play this team can still beat us. This team can still beat us for sure. Diaz just is a pain in the arse, let's be honest. Robertson can show up on the big stage. He's shown it before. Van Dijk, if a Van Dijk of old, shows up and gets his nose on it and is just unplayable. If he is that level, if he's at his very best, Virgil van Dijk, then we are in trouble. And Konate is just gonna feed off of that confidence, off of that performance that Van Dijk will be putting in if he is on form. And so that could make for a pretty fucking long day. I'll be completely honest with you. Connor Bradley, the old Make-A-Wish kid, he's back. More than likely, obviously scored against us in the 4-1 win a few weeks ago. He if they're going to score, it's going to be that idiot again. Endo, Gravenberch, McAllister, a decent middle three. It's not anything to write home about, but still not one that is terrible by any means. Gakpo up top, Harvey Elliott and Diaz on the wings. It is just gonna be, we will have to wait and see. There's just no way to predict. Chelsea as a whole is impossible to predict. But when it comes to Chelsea versus Liverpool, when it comes to Liverpool versus Chelsea, not even just like thinking from a Chelsea mindset of how are we going to do this. You never know what Liverpool you're going to get. You're either going to get absolutely battered or they just don't show up and you manage to get the better of them on the day. There is no sort of in between, which that is a lie in terms of, when you look back at the last couple of finals, 0-0, straight to or not straight to penalties, but it's gone to penalties in the end. It's hard to predict. As finals go, Chelsea versus Liverpool is a difficult one to predict. And lastly, we will, of course, go over the referees. Here we go. 2.5 hours to go. And I will leave you with this. No bald referees. I repeat, there are no bald referees. Not one. We got Chris Kavanagh, who, if I'm not mistaken, has a pretty good record with Chelsea. Mark Scholes and James Mainwaring are the linesmen. And Tim Robertson is the fourth official. Wade Smith, the reserve assistant. John Brooks is VAR. And Mark Perry is a VAR. None of those names with regards to VAR ring a bell with anyone that's had a bit of a balls up in the past. At least with Chelsea, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't stink of shit. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't give that. I'm trying to think. There's one VAR name in particular where I'm just like, if we get in, we're fucked. The match is on TV. It's on Sky Sports, I believe. I don't think it's on terrestrial TV. But all the same, yeah. There's your officials for today. Haven't really seen too much negativity towards any of them necessarily. I think it is more or less something that no, I don't think it is. It's not. I don't think it's available for free. It is more so that people are excited that the fact that they aren't bald, which would lead me to believe that they are just kind of. They've never really caused any issues for Chelsea over the last few years or so, at least. Obviously, referees with Chelsea quite notorious for not giving us the benefit of the doubt, and more so, not even just against Chelsea, but more so giving the benefit of the doubt to Liverpool. They've got the Klopp farewell tour on their hands. Do you know what I mean? They're going to want to go out with a bang at least. They're going to want to put on a show for him, even if they are, a second, third-rate team compared to what they have the potential to put on the field with all of those players missing. It is, and I can't stress this enough, the pressure is massively, massively on Chelsea. It's massively on Pochettino. It is hugely on Ben Chilwell to get a result. We cannot keep losing. We've lost 6 games in a row. Sorry, 5 games. This would be 6. If we lose here today, it would be 6 straight defeats at Wembley. And I can't get excited for finals anymore if we continue to do that. Obviously, very nervous, very anxious as to what is going to be what. But only time will tell. The starting 11 will be out in about an hour and a half's time. I will be live on youtube.com/The Byline at 1:30. An hour from now, I'll be live on the Byline YouTube channel to start off proceedings. Alex will join me half an hour into the pre-show over on that channel. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Predictions wise for this game, I've gone 1-1 and then extra time. Either team wins it. I don't think it goes to penalties. Obviously, it can go to penalties, but I don't think it will go to penalties. I predict a good game. I predict a very, very high intensity game with a lot of drama. Hopefully, not any drama revolving red cards or the referees causing fucking issues for us or Liverpool. I mean, I don't even want to win via a bad mistake from the referee. I just want it to be a clean game, one where not necessarily. I don't mind someone getting sent off for Liverpool, but in terms of I don't want there to be any shadow of a doubt. If we win, there cannot be any doubt. Obviously, there always will be because of their injury concerns, but we've got plenty of injuries ourselves, so fuck them. Please do like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. There will be a live review on this channel as well, following the full-time whistle and trophy lift if there is one for Chelsea. If there isn't, then obviously we'll be live as well. But until then, stay safe. I will see you in an hour's time for the game on the Byline YouTube channel. All the best. My name is Harry Up. Chelsea. And peace.